So if you live in Europe, yourself or someone that you know might have had or still has this Volkswagen Polo. We're gonna look at the specs of the car today, the engine, and we're gonna have a drive in it and see how we like it.
Skill issue.
Skill issue. Ah, a quality issue. So if we have a look at the engine, we can see that it's a 1.4 liter petrol car. The most of these are diesels, mainly in Europe. As we all know, Dieselgate, some other things that happened. But this car was widely popular because it wasn't that expensive and because it's very good on mileage. If we have a look at the engine, we see the standard Volkswagen stuff, these gas struts, because it's a cheaper car. As we can see, we have a bit of oil leak at the top of the engine. Some oil does come out and it is a bit greasy. I'm not gonna touch it. Something you might have to look out for is the batteries on these Volkswagen Polos. Even from factory, they can be a little small and your car can die out on you or just not start when you want to go somewhere. So this is one part of the car that a lot of people that I know also had to replace. Furthermore, if we have a look at it, there isn't so much to look at. The car is naturally aspirated. This specific model doesn't have a turbo with a 1.4 liter petrols. If you have a 1.2 liter or 1.6 liter diesel, you do have the turbocharger. Not that your car goes a lot faster, but you also have a 1.4 liter GDI. After the facelift, we got a 1.8 liter GDI. Both of those engines were not reliable. So yeah, I'm glad they upgraded it to a 2 liter nowadays. So we also have a 1.2 liter petrol engine, but I wouldn't go for that one. This 1.4 liter is very safe. And this specific car has ran over 247,000 kilometers. So if we have a look at the front of the Volkswagen Polo, they standard come with just the headlights. The fog lights are not included. Optional, you can get these fog lights or cornering lights, however you want to call them. So if you make a turn in the corner, left or right, one of the lights goes on. And if you're about 18 years old and this is your first car, then you always have the fog lights on because that seems cool when you're 18. What do you think of the Polo crossover, which we forgot to mention?
I would prefer it over this one because how amazing is that you can go off-road with a car like this. You can go to the Moroccan Sahara Desert.
One thing that I also forgot to mention, there is a Volkswagen Polo crossover GTI R8 packet. If you want that one, don't buy it because it's shit. If you have a look at the side mirrors of this specific model of the Polo, you can see that they are blacked out, and there's a reason therefore. Because the normal turning lights or signals, however you want to call them, just go on and off. And for like 20 to 30 bucks, you can just order a pair of these dynamic lights. And I must say, they do look very good. So your Volkswagen looks like an Audi now. And when you turn your fog lights on the front on, you gain an extra 10 horsepower. Do the review yourself. Nobody wants to look at you. So as we can see, we have 15-inch wheels underneath the Volkswagen Polo. The standard wheels do come with 15 inches. Sometimes you can upgrade them to 16 inches and a lot of people afterwards put other wheels on them. I don't mind these ones, but I have seen other ones like the Mallory 17 inches or the GTI wheels, which look a lot better. So if you can option those or switch them out for those, it would look much more sporty. Okay, so let's have a look. Trunk, decent sized. It is a small city car, so it's just for groceries or some bags. So you have a 12-volt socket, you have a hinge which you can put your bags on, and you have some lights in the back. So as we can see, we do have a spare wheel, which is exactly the same as the wheels underneath the car. So that's a nice plus point. So as we can see, in this case we have the 4-door model. You could also get it as a 3 doors or a coupe. I wouldn't call it a coupe, it has 2 doors, but usually we do have an antenna on the back, but this one is broken, but that's no issue. You can opt for the tinted windows. It looks a lot better, but like this it's also no problem because it's your daily driver for going to the store and not doing some mafia business. Did I also mention that the car does 0 to 60 in about 12 seconds? It's alright, you shouldn't expect much from it. It's a simple car, not a lot of things that can break on the car. Great on mileage, very cheap with insurance and stuff like that. So it's okay, alright. So getting in the back of the Volkswagen Polo. It isn't very spacious. Front seat is in the way which I would sit in, and I'm not the tallest guy, so if you're under 6 foot, you're also gonna struggle. If we have a look at the Matt Watson technique, there isn't a lot of knee room. The headroom is about okay, knee room is very small. So if you're under 6 foot, you're gonna definitely struggle. If you're over 6 foot, I would get another car. We don't have an armrest in the back. We do have a cup holder, so that's nice. And if you open it, the whole armrest moves with it. Okay, normally it shouldn't, but that's about it for the back. Not very spacious, but it's alright if you have to. So inside of the car, it's what you expect of the Volkswagen Polo. Normally you could get it with like a small radio. You can upgrade to the big RNS screens. Inside this car there's an Android screen. I would definitely recommend switching that out, because then you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can use your Google Maps, Bluetooth. You can also connect a rear viewing camera. So a lot of positives if you switch over to the Android screen, and it's pretty cheap if you compare it to the original RNS screens that Volkswagen themselves sell. You can get heated seats in these Volkswagen, especially in this model of Polo, 2009 till 2017. There is an issue where the driver's side heated seat doesn't work after a while, and then you have to switch out the module under your seat. So be aware of that. We don't have the automatic dimming windows. So we do have some mirrors in the car, so that's a nice option. We have 4 electric windows, which is also a paid option, which doesn't come standard on the car. You can get buttons on the steering wheel. This one doesn't have it, also a paid option. This specific model is from 2009, so it just has analog dials, and I think it's fine. I don't really mind the design. I think it's a very clean design, nothing to say about it. Also another paid option. This car had a lot of paid options, but one of the paid options was automatic lights. This has the standard switch in which you can put it on yourself. Also, you can switch this out for around $5 to $10, and then you can get one with an automatic sensor. You just have to tuck it away under your windscreen. Also something I would do. They do come with climate control. Also another paid option, wasn't standard on these cars. So yeah, it's pretty different. Every Polo you're gonna get. Some don't have 4 electric windows, some have buttons on the steering wheel. Some options that seem quite normal today were pretty expensive or not standard a couple of years back. That's what you can expect of the car. It does have a 5-speed manual, and it has this wonkily armrest.
So welcome to your second driving lesson. I'm your instructor for today.
Again?
Mr. Esri. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did you start the car without putting on your seatbelt?
So no Volkswagen without some warning lights. Except the windshield, which is very dirty and difficult to see out of. For a car that has done over 247,000 kilometers, it starts off okay. The clutch is very low, so just if you move off your foot a little bit of the clutch, it already starts moving. The gas is pretty responsive, and the brakes, the brake pedal does come in a bit late, but nothing too crazy for a car that's over 13-14 years old. It's pretty normal.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
But for a car with 86 horsepower and a naturally aspirated engine, it doesn't feel that slow. It just, when you put your foot on the gas, it does go a little bit more than you would expect a car like this to do. Steering is pretty light. Seating position is fine, nothing to say about it. And the Android screen. Wow, it weighs. Alright, so when the car is in 4th gear, it's pretty much in neutral, but apart from that, it's fine. And it's very nice to have an armrest in a car like this. A lot of cars for this class just don't have an armrest, and it's very frustrating. One thing that catches my attention is that the brake and the clutch pedal are pretty close to each other. So the gas pedal does have a little bit of space, but sometimes when I try to press the clutch, I'm also half pushing the brake. So that's something to look out for.
Just have extremely wide feet.
You're calling me fat, bro?
No, I call your feet fat.
This specific example of the Volkswagen Polo just shows that if you take care of your car, you can drive over 247,000 kilometers with a naturally aspirated petrol engine, not even the diesel engines, and the car feels alright. It shifts good, it still goes forward pretty normal. It's not like it misses a lot of horsepower, not that it has a lot, but alright. Brakes aren't then worn, steering feels alright, and if you wouldn't know the mileage, I think you would guess it has pretty less miles than it does have now. Yet again, the lights on the dashboard are just standard. You get it with the car, even if you buy it new. But very impressed by the car so far. Alright, so that shows just why you should have a bike in the summer. Let's have a look at this. We're driving a Volkswagen Polo with the sunset. We don't have cruise control, but we're having very good miles per gallon, and it's something we can be happy about because we save money, so we can buy a bike and just send it.
I've done more than 5,000 kilometers in 2 weeks with this car through the whole Europe, and I didn't miss cruise control. It would have been nice, so it would be a nice plus, but it's not like I can't go without it.
I've been driving this for 2 minutes and I'm already missing the option, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Okay, so the Volkswagen Polo 2009 to 2017, what do I think of it? It's a car that's pretty good on mileage. If you spend a little bit more money, you can get some very nice options on the car, and it looks pretty decent in my opinion. Better than the Renault Clio or Seat Ibiza from this day and age, or from this time, from this car. So I would say, should you buy one? You should probably consider it. It's a very nice car. Again, very good on mileage and very good if it's your first car, mainly in Europe because of the low cost. So that's my opinion on it. Thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna see you again soon.